To be a piece of the club that irritates them, the club of guardians that we as a whole got to manage the entire time they're attempting to persuade me I'm crazy. They were attempting to inspire me to take maniacal prescription. No doubt I realize these individuals be attempting to control you. Or that can happen to me, that can happen to one of my children, that can happen to my girl, that can happen to my nephews, nieces, my dad. For some, Hollywood is the place where there is vast open doors, yet for others, it's something else entirely. Yet the association between the two definitions is that most VIPs get to encounter the two closures of the stick. And in the present Uncover, Dave Chappelle's Uncovering Hollywood, aside from this time, Dave isn't discussing the evil things that happen away from public scrutiny in the business. Good gracious. He's likewise conveying an admonition to ice 3D shape things are beginning to get extreme. And it appears to be these two are the only ones seeing it yet. What's the significance here for others in the business? Stay with me. We should figure out the most terrible thing to call someone as insane as Cavalier. I don't grasp this individual, so they're stunningly, that is. __. Many individuals called him insane, yet the word on the road is that it was all promulgation. See, one thing that makes Dave Chappelle's voice something to recon with is that it comes from his abundance of involvement. So assuming that the man says there's something strange happening in Hollywood, he presumably knows what he's talking about. We should make a stride back. We, the entertainer and comic, talked with James Lipton. For inside the entertainer studio, sometime back in Kid, did he have a significant piece during the meeting. Chappelle shared bits of knowledge on the pompous and wiped out culture inside Hollywood, which permitted numerous superstars to be excused as being insane. He talked about how damaging Hollywood culture can be and utilized a 1996 episode where awful young men star Martin Lawrence's 1996 ran into the roads of Los Angeles with a stacked firearm as an illustration, as would be natural for him. So let me ask you this: what's going on in Hollywood that a person that extreme will be on the road waving a firearm, shouting they are attempting to kill me? Chappelle said Lawrence caused me to feel propelled whenever that he was fruitful, yet there was a clouded side to his prosperity. He made sense of that. Lawrence suffered a heart attack and nearly passed on while the pair were advancing their film Blue Streak. After that, Chappelle said Lawrence let him know I got the best rest I at any point got in my life because of being hospitalized. What's happening? For what reason is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? For what reason is Mariah Carey earning anything 100 meters arrangement? And afterward taking her garments off on TRL, a powerless individual can't get to stay here and converse with you. Ain't no feeble individuals conversing with you. Dave proceeded to address all that he's knowledgeable about Hollywood, all through his vocation, and furthermore addressed why individuals thought he was insane. In any case, you see, back in 2005, Dave Chappelle dazed fans and media outlets when he unexpectedly left the development of the madly famous Chappelle show and went on an outing to South Africa. He said that he was discontent with where the show had taken and communicated his requirement for time to consider the colossal pressure of being at the center of attention. Chappelle's choice to stop the show implied leaving his $50 meters agreement with funny TV tabloids. At the time hypothesized that Chappelle's exit was driven by chronic drug use or emotional wellness issues. I can't completely accept that somebody did that to me anyway. Sometime after Dave was back at the center of attention and uncovered what truly prompted his exit from the show and Kid, did it shock everybody? Individuals think I raked in boatloads of cash for Chappelle's show. When I left that show, I never got compensated by Dave. Hollywood is basically a beast whose objective is to overtake till essentially nothing remains. And that prompted him leaving. It was purportedly awful to such an extent that the entertainer and comic lacked the ability to get a solitary dime from the makers. And it appears to be this specific beast that Dave has been attempting to uncover is who he's currently cautioning Ice 3D Square about, in light of the fact that, in spite of the fact that Dave figured out how to scale through his series of Uncovered about Hollywood, he actually experienced uncovering a portion of their insider facts. And from the vibes of things it appears Ice Block could likewise be stringing that way, and who preferable to caution him over a north of multi-decade industry veteran. No doubt I suspected as much too for the individuals who may not realize Ice 3D shape is, as of now, determined to uncover Hollywood 3 days prior. Ice 3D shape uncovered that he isn't important for the tip-top Hollywood club, that so many others evidently didn't stop there. He additionally circulated a few complaints about the difficulties he says he faces due to it. You might not have acknowledged that I'm not piece of the club. The rapper posted an unfavorable video Sunday, where he's talking straightforwardly to the camera. And the man goes on this long tirade about being on the outs with the elites and guards in showbiz and sports. Basically, that is what it seems as though he's alluding to. Some of you might not have understood that I'm not piece of the club, said Ice 3D shape in his video proclamation. Cutoff time reports, and a ton of you paying attention to me here. And this moment you are not piece of the club either. And what I understood with the club makes them so frantic is the point at which you would rather not be a piece of the exclamation club that irritates them. Ice 3D shape proceeded with, what club am I referring to? I'm discussing the club of guardians that we as a whole got to manage. You know what their identity is. And they certainly know what their identity is. Ice says straight, he's not piece of that swarm, nor does he need to be, and proceeds to say that that reality truly drives people within mad on the grounds that he's opposing something standard for somebody in his position. It additionally appears Shape may be talking governmental issues here too, in light of the fact that he references his agreement with Dark America, something he set forth in front of the 2020 official race, in which he said he felt Donald Trump truly seemed to view more in a serious way than Joe Biden. And keeping in mind that all of this might appear to be really new coming from Ice 3D Square, this isn't truly the initial time he's discussed unfairness in the business. Hollywood has been self-satisfied in our therapy in this nation, Ice 3D Square said in discussion with Jones, Jada Pinkett, Smith, Willow Smith, Adrian Banfield Jones, and performer Tyler Cole. I think kids figure out how to treat us while they're watching shows. You learn oak. When I become a cop, this is how I do them. And they ought to appear to get things done to assist us with switching that. Yet the thing is very much like Ice Block is by all accounts getting on the awful side of these elites. There are several major names in the business that have had direct involvement in them. Kanye West has been standing up increasingly more about the real essence of unexplained occasions in the music business, as he recently expressed they frequently change the medications and afterward lie about it. In one of his digital broadcasts, Kanye West uncovered his misdiagnosis and the prescription he was going to take. He guaranteed that the specific measure of lithium blended in was excessively dishonorable to be uncovered. He explicitly said that assuming that he had taken the medication, he would as of now not be alive. The rapper has never been one to avoid expressing his real thoughts, and he's taking care of it. He's asserted that organizations like Hole and Adidas have betrayed him due to his bluntness about industry manhandles. He even got down on Forbes, saying they've betrayed him and made his fortune fall to $400 million. Oof, that has got to hurt. Yet Kanye isn't the main name on that rundown. Mariah Carey additionally had her very own occurrence quite a while back, left the web speechless. While the vocalist has been known all through her profession for her tantalizing presentations, she made it one stride further, stripping totally bare as she reported herself enjoying an air pocket shower. The 46-year-old artist streaked her broadly more than adequate bust to her 4.1 million devotees as she presented in the midst of the phony air pockets in 2 sassy snaps for her Instagram page. The star threatened to grandstand every one of her resources as she lay in the tub, with her humility just covered by the air pockets. Yet the screwed up part is that all of this occurred around the time she marked an extravagant arrangement that is correct. Virgin Records marked Mariah Carey to perhaps of the greatest agreement in record industry history. A five-collection bargain that dependable her and expected 100 million bucks at the time the agreement was marked. Mariah was large and in charge. Other than the Beatles, no other craftsman had put out more number one Board Hot 100 singles. It was the sort of agreement just a diva could arrange. She was paid 21 million bucks right out of the entryway, without any surprises whatsoever. She didn't actually need to put out a collection to keep that check. Doesn't actually appear to be something you'd anticipate from another tycoon. Definitely, I suspected as much too well you'd be shocked about exactly the way that normal things like that are in Hollywood, since Martin Lawrence is another VIP who apparently had a mental meltdown in the city of Sherman Oaks. As per reports, jokester Martin Lawrence ran into traffic on occupied Ventura Lane in Sherman Oaks, with a gun in his pocket too, or a long time back, reviling and shouting at approaching vehicles, until he was removed by police and hospitalized. Specialists and witnesses said doesn't appear to be ideal. Does it? That is precisely exact thing Dave Chappelle has been attempting to caution the world in Ice 3D shape about. Well, it appears to be a few fans could currently be seeing what Dave has been attempting to say this time. One Twitter client composed any other individual beginning to get why individuals like Dave Chappelle left Hollywood. It's make a move or don't play by any stretch of the imagination. With folks like this, these individuals conclude what we have the honor to watch. That is another individual that accepts him. Let me know. How can he truly need to cause you to accept him too? That is all there is to it for this video. Farewell.